going to, I think I'm going to use black, a zonker strip that's black. And again, I am putting it so the skin side is down, put it through my hook, take it out of the vise. It really didn't want to go, but we got it. So now I'm going to put it back in the vise. After I get it down tied just a little bit, I'm going to trim it. Almost cut my line. At this point, I guess it might be good to put a little adhesive down. Now I'm going to put on, I'm going to use some of my Madeira thread. I'm going to use some white for flashing. Okay, got my flashing down. We'll trim it long. It's okay. We will trim it. And because this is an embroidery thread, has many strands, I like to separate. It'll separate in the water, but if you can also separate it now. Now, I'm going to use my Madeira thread. I really like this thread. Let me tie it down. Because it's thin, I'm going to have to build up the body with it. Again, I'm going to put a whip finish in because I'm going to use my rotary vise. I'm going to use my rotary vise. I'll put a couple half inches in. Wind up my thread. Okay. Put it on my thread holder out of the way. And now I'm going to build up the body with the Madeira thread. Okay, that's good enough. tie it down. And I'll show you one other great way to tie up this jig. Okay, let's get it tied down. Let's put some wood finishes on. Hard to work around this camera. Trim it. Put a little Dave's Flex Men on. And there you have another great crappie jig. Let me take it out of the vise and work this flashing a little bit better. Put it back in the vise. Okay. And that is a nice jig ready to rock and roll. Catch some fish. Okay. Again, this is a hammerhead, so if it hits a twig on the top, it'll push it up and it'll push the hook out of the way. If it hits a twig on the bottom, it'll push down and push the hook up out of the way. So it gets caught less than your standard jigs. Okay, let's do one more. This one up, we're going to make it pink. Let's put a thread base on. Trim. Now before I put my tail on, I am going to use my Madeira thread and build the body. Okay. Now I'm going to put a couple half hitches in because I'm going to use my rotary vise. Okay, put my thread out of the way on this holder. Okay, now using my rotary, I am going to build up a body. But before I build up a body, I'm going to make a little dam back here. Because when we put on our zonker strip, I'm going to use the zonker strip as the top part of the body, and I don't want it to slip back. So now we're going to build this up. Okay, now I've got my body on there, my Madeira thread. I'll take my thread holder out of the way, and now lock on my thread. Let's trim it. And just keep it from going any place, I'm going to put another 1/2 inch in. Okay. Now you notice I've got my thread in the front. So now I'm going to take my zonker strip, my fluorescent pink zonker strip, and just like before, we're going to put it on the inside of that tail. So I am going to, I guess it'd be that long, it might be good. I'm going to poke this on, the hook through. Okay, we got it through. I'm going to remove my hook out of the vise so we get our tail up here. Now this time I'm going to bring it forward and I'm going to tie it so this is the whole length of the body. You could put some flashing in there if you would like, but just showing you another way to put your zonker strip on. Now with the zonker strip on, do not cut the thread, but I'll take a little razor and I'm going to do a sawing action so I don't mess up my hairs on. There it goes. Tie this down. Whip finish. Trim off my thread. You'll notice that this tail is not going to come up because of the body. Put on a little of my Dave's Flex Cement, and we're finished. You'll notice that the hair, let's get this twisted up here a little bit more before it dries too much. You'll notice that it'll be nice and flowing. The zonker tail will flow the whole length of the body with the flashing underneath. And again, trout, white bass, crappie will take this jig all the time. Thank you for watching.